Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some of my favorite MLB player props on Prizepicks for today, for Tuesday, June the 28th. We do have a big Tuesday slate. Like normal, we got a big slate, 15 games, I do believe. I think we actually have 16 games today because there is a doubleheader. There is an early game today. But we got a full night slate, full 15 game slate, so there are a lot of options to choose from today. Right now, Prizepicks just posted their pitcher props, and that was kind of what I was waiting on. Took a look at that, the pitcher prop board, found 3 plays that I liked, taking a first look at the board on Monday night. So we'll talk through these 3 plays. We'll share why I like them. Before we do though, guys, we'll recap our plays from Monday. And Monday was not a good day for us. Monday in general was just not a great day for me. Struggle with the free plays I gave out, just going 1 and 2. Did not have a great day on Patreon either. Definitely one of the worst days I've had in MLB in quite some time. But the free plays we gave out, we went 1 and 2 on our 3 plays. Did not hit the over on Jordan Montgomery's fantasy points. I really like that matchup for Montgomery against Oakland, and he just had a blow-up inning. I think it was the 3rd inning. He gave up 5 runs in the 3rd inning. Somehow still managed to finish with 23 fantasy points. Obviously still came up short of his projection, but the fact that he finished with 23 fantasy points while giving up 5 runs in 1 inning just kind of shows you that, if he doesn't have that blow-up inning, Montgomery would have cruised to going over his fantasy score, but yeah, he got rocked in the 3rd inning, gave up 5 runs, and when you do that, it's going to be really hard to make up those points just because he lost so many points in that 1 inning. So he came up short. Eric Fede, we did take the over on his fantasy score as well, and he didn't even pitch that bad of a game. Fede pitched 5 innings, got 4 strikeouts, gave up 2 runs. Obviously, that was a great matchup for him against the Pirates. The only issue was that his pitch count was just way up. The Pirates did a good job fouling off pitches, making him throw a lot of pitches. And through 5 innings, he had already thrown like 100 pitches through 5 innings. So we needed him to pretty much come out and pitch the 6th inning. And because his pitch count was so high, he had to get pulled after the 5th inning because he had already thrown like 100 pitches. And he came up just short of his fantasy score. We needed 24 fantasy points from Fede, and he finished with 21, which obviously is annoying. But we did hit the over on Lucas Giolito's fantasy points. He just got there for us. We needed 34 fantasy points from him, and he got 34 fantasy points. I think he went 6 innings, got a quality start, had 6 strikeouts, gave up 2 runs. Kind of what I expected Giolito to do. I expected him to get a quality start, to probably get 5 or 6 strikeouts, and go over his fantasy score. So he did hit. So we went 1 and 2 on our free plays on Monday, but again, obviously not a great day. We'll try and bounce back today, hopefully with a big slate with so many options. I can nail down some plays I like today. Found 3 plays I like, taking a first look at this at the board on Monday. Obviously, I will give out more plays as well. Those will be posted on Patreon. I'll take a look at the board once again on Tuesday, find some more plays I like, share those over on Patreon. If you're interested in that, obviously you can check that out, link down below in the description. But before we get started with the breakdown, guys, hit that like button. As always, I appreciate the likes. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, make sure to check out Prizepicks and sign up with my promo code Noah. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And if you bet player props on any other sports book or any other DFS site, highly recommend you give Prizepicks a try. Prizepicks offers a ton of props in MLB. They offer a ton of other sports, a ton of other props with other sports. I'm pretty sure Prizepicks did just add KBO. So for those of you that are into KBO, Prizepicks has props for that now. I never really got into KBO during COVID times, but I know it was a sport that a lot of people got into. If you want to check that out, you can. It's available on Prizepicks now. But yeah, Prizepicks offers a ton of other sports outside of just MLB, outside of your main NFL, NBA. You can mix and match sports on Prizepicks. You can make multi-sport entries. Highly recommend you guys check them out and make sure that when you sign up for Prizepicks, use promo code Noah, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. But let's go ahead and talk through the plays that I like for today, guys. And we're going to start off in the pitcher fantasy score category. I got 1 pitcher fantasy score prop that I like, and then I have 2 strikeout props that I like for today. So for pitcher fantasy score, we're going to go down to the White Sox and Angels game, and we're going to be taking the over on Johnny Cueto's fantasy score. Kind of the same reasons I like the Lucas Giolito play on Monday is the reasons that I like this over for Cueto today. Cueto's line at 24.5, I definitely think is a few points too low. Cueto has actually pitched pretty well this year. Now, he's obviously not the same pitcher that he used to be, but he's still been solid, and he's gone over this fantasy score in 6 out of his 8 starts this season. The only 2 starts where he did not get 25 fantasy points or more was against the Rangers. He scored 18 fantasy points against the Rangers, went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, had 4 strikeouts, but gave up 3 runs, only went 5 innings, so couldn't get didn't pitch deep enough to get the quality start. And then against the Cubs earlier this year, he went 6 2/3 innings, but he gave up 5 runs, finished with 11 fantasy points. Every other start Cueto has made this year, he has gotten at least 25 fantasy points. Obviously, this is a matchup where I think Cueto should be able to probably go 6 innings. We saw Giolito get the quality start on Monday. I think Cueto can do the same today. I think Cueto can get us a quality start. Should be able to get some strikeouts as well. We talked about how good of a matchup it is for strikeouts, and if you look at where the Angels rank versus right-handed pitching this season, they have the highest strikeout rate in the league. They lead the league with a 26.2% K rate this year versus righties. And when you look at this Angels lineup, there are a lot of guys in this lineup that will strike out. Over 30% K rate for Velasquez, Brandon Marsh, Max Stassi, Jared Walsh, over 30. So basically 4 guys in their projected lineup have a K rate over 30%. Mike Trout, surprisingly, his K rate is super high this year. It's close to 30%, 29% K rate for him, 24% for Taylor Ward. Even Ohtani's at 22%. Really, the only guys that have not been striking out that much for the Angels are McKinnon and Rengifo. I think that's how you say his name. Everyone else in this lineup outside of those 2 guys have really, really high K rates. So this is definitely a matchup where Cueto should be able to get like 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. I was looking at his K prop for today. His K prop right now it's set at 5. I kind of like that. Like, I think Cueto can definitely get 5 strikeouts or more. If you wanted to take the over on his 5 strikeouts, I think that's fine. But I have a feeling he'll be able to get a quality start here. And if he gets a quality start, gets 3, 4 strikeouts, that's really all that we need. Let's say Cueto pitches 6 innings, gives up 3 runs, and gets 4 strikeouts. I mean, that's 25 fantasy points. Like, that's really all that we need Cueto to do. And I think he can at least do that for us. I think he has an easy path to getting 25 fantasy points here. This Angels lineup, like, they do strike out a lot. They're not, like, the worst lineup. I mean, they do have some good hitters. Obviously, the top of that lineup is really scary with Trout and Ohtani. But, man, once you get to the bottom of that lineup, there are some easy outs. There's obviously plenty of strikeouts as well. Maybe Cueto gives up a few runs. Maybe Trout hits a home run or Ohtani hits a home run. We saw Giolito give up 2 runs against the Angels Monday. Maybe Cueto gives up a few runs, but I think he'll be able to get enough strikeouts. He'll be able to pitch deep enough into the game to go over this fantasy score line, and especially with how well Cueto has pitched this season. I mean, you look at his numbers, like, he's really not been that bad this year. Obviously, he's not the pitcher that he used to be, but still got a 20% K rate. Not getting hit too hard this season. His stats are about average in most categories. Has a decent chase rate. I'm just going to target the matchup here. The Angels strike out a lot. They're all, offensively, they're not a team you worry about too much outside of the top of that lineup. So I like the matchup for Cueto. I think his fantasy score is a little bit too low, and we're going to be taking the over 24.5 fantasy points for Johnny Cueto today. And then our other 2 props, again, both going to be strikeout props. Like this one quite a bit. The line actually did move right before I started recording my video and right before I got my entry in. When I first took a look at the board, they had Brandon Woodruff's strikeout prop at 4.5, and I really liked that at first look at 4.5. It got bumped up to 5 right before I put my entry in. I'm still fine playing it at 5 though. I like this one quite a bit, taking the over 5 strikeouts for Brandon Woodruff. Love this matchup for Woodruff against the Rays, a team that does strike out a ton. If you look at where the Rays rank this year versus right-handed pitching, 25.1% K rate for them, which is 4th highest in the league. And Brandon Woodruff is a really good strikeout pitcher. He hasn't pitched a ton this season because he has been injured. He's been injured for like the last month, and we'll talk about that in a second. But still, this season, in the starts that he has made, he's got a very solid K rate, 28.5% strikeout rate this year. I believe he has at least 5 strikeouts and a good amount of his starts as well. Wanted to pull up his game log real quick just to confirm that. But he has made 9 starts this year, and Brandon Woodruff does have at least 5 strikeouts. He actually has 6 strikeouts in 6 of those 9 starts. So there's only been 3 starts this year where Woodruff has less than 5 Ks. First 2 starts of the season against the Cubs and against the Cardinals, he only had 2 strikeouts, and then his most recent start against the Cardinals had 4 strikeouts. But obviously, the Cardinals, they're not a team that strikes out much. Every other start, he's gotten 6 Ks or more. Now, like I said, this is Woodruff's first start back from injury. He's been out for about a month because of an ankle injury, I do believe. But it was reported that he, felt really good. I want to read this player blurb that Yahoo has. So basically, it was reported that all signs look clear for Brandon Woodruff to rejoin the Brewers rotation and possibly start Tuesday, and it's already been confirmed that he is starting Tuesday. Woodruff was sharp in his rehab start, fanning 7 over 5 innings, so he had 7 strikeouts over 5 innings in his rehab start, and he threw 74 pitches in his rehab start. So I think that was like a week ago or maybe like 5-6 days ago was that rehab start. So the fact that he threw 74 pitches in his rehab start makes me think he probably goes like 75, 80 pitches today, probably will pitch 5 to 6 innings. He might be on some minor limit, but I don't think he's going to be on like a crazy limit. Like they're not going to limit him to like 50 pitches. I think he'll probably throw 75, 80 pitches, maybe more if he's feeling good and if he's feeling well. And Woodruff even said after that outing that he's very confident and came out feeling very good after that rehab start. So it seems like Woodruff, feels good right now. I would think he's going to be he's not going to be on too much of a limit here. I think he can pitch deep enough into this game to go 5-6 innings. And if he pitches, 5-6 innings against this Rays team, he should be able to get 5 strikeouts because there are a lot of strikeouts in this Rays lineup. And obviously, as we talked about, Woodruff is a very good strikeout pitcher. I want to take a look at their lineup just to kind of show you guys. But so far this season, outside of the top of the lineup with like Diaz and Franco, those guys don't strike out much. But Randy Arozarena, 27% K rate this year. Ji-Man Choi, 26% K rate this year. Josh Lowe's been striking out a ton, 37.5% K rate. Mejia, 30% K rate. Brujan, 27% K rate. Really, the only guys that don't strike out are Diaz, Franco, Ramirez, and Paredes. All the other hitters, all 5 other hitters have really high K rates. So I think Woodruff with his 28.5% K rate this season can definitely get us 5 strikeouts here, and he should be able to throw probably 75 to 80 pitches if I had to guess, maybe more if he's feeling good, if he's pitching well. And even if he goes like 5-6 innings, I think he can get 5 Ks with how much this Rays lineup does strike out. I think worst case scenario, Woodruff can push this line. Again, his K prop was at 4.5 before I started recording. I would have loved to have gotten it at 4.5. It did get bumped up to 5. But I'm still fine playing it at 5 because I think at worst case scenario, he can push this, get us 5 strikeouts today. With how good of a strikeout matchup this is and with how good of a strikeout pitcher Brandon Woodruff is, he should be able to get 5 strikeouts. So that's what I'm liking as our second play for today. And then third and final play, another strikeout prop. Going to be going to one of the late games. Tariq Skubal, going to be taking the over on 5 strikeouts for Skubal today. And this is kind of another scenario where I just think this line is too low. And I think worst case scenario, Skubal can push this line for us. I looked at his game log before I started recording. So Skubal has made 14 starts this year, and he has at least 5 strikeouts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 out of 14 starts this year, Skubal has at least 5 strikeouts. That just shows you that this line is definitely a little bit too low, especially for this matchup. The Giants are actually a team that will strike out versus left-handed pitching. You look at where they rank versus lefties this year, they're top 10 in K rate. They have a 23.4% K rate versus lefties, which is 8th highest in the league. And if you even look at the last 30 days, they've been striking out a lot more over the last 30 days. They have the 4th highest K rate in the league, 26% K rate versus lefties over the last 30 days. So definitely a matchup where Skubal can get some strikeouts. We can take a look at the Giants lineup, at least what their projected lineup is for tomorrow. There's plenty of Ks here. Austin Slater, 30% K rate this year. Jock Peterson, if he's in the lineup, he's got a 33% K rate. Darren Ruff's been striking out a decent amount, 23%. Evan Longoria has been striking out a ton this year, 32% K rate. Don't know if Yaz will be in the lineup because he's a lefty, but he's got a 31% K rate this year versus lefties. Wins has a 22% K rate. There's only a few guys, Wilmer Flores, Estrada, and La Stella. Those are really the only guys that don't have K rates like above 20% for this Giants team. Everyone else has a pretty high K rate this year. So there are definitely some strikeouts in this Giants lineup. Skubal's a fairly good strikeout pitcher so far this season. He does have a 26.3% K rate, has a pretty good chase rate, pretty good whip percentage as well, so he can get swings and misses. He can get swings and misses outside the strike zone. And with how many starts he's made this year, with how often he's been able to get at least 5 Ks, this is another scenario where I feel like worst case scenario, we can get at least 5 strikeouts from Skubal and he can push. But I think he can get a 6 Ks or more. There are plenty of strikeouts in this Giants lineup, and Skubal is a good enough strikeout pitcher to where he can get over this line. So I definitely think this line is a little bit too low. I feel like it should be 5.5, if not 6. Wouldn't be surprised if you see it get bumped up on Tuesday. But again, I'm making this video on Monday night. Was able to get this video in the night before. I try and always get my props in the night before, just because that's when you can kind of get the earliest value, the most value, because you can find the lines early. Again, that Woodruff line at 4.5, I absolutely love that, but it got bumped up to 5. Still fine playing it at 5. But I like the Skubal line at 5 as well. Feel like worst case scenario, Skubal finishes with 5 pushes, and maybe our other 2 props hit. We can still get a 3x payout. So that's what I'm liking for today, guys. Our 3 plays for today. over 24.5 fantasy score for Johnny Cueto, over 5 strikeouts for Brandon Woodruff, and over 5 strikeouts for Tariq Skubal. Again, it was not a great day for us on Monday, but I'm hoping that we can bounce back today, guys. Usually after we have a bad day, we do pretty well the next day, so hopefully we can get a clean sweep today, hit all of our props. But appreciate you guys checking out these videos. As always, make sure to hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And also make sure to check out Prizepicks. Sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And as we mentioned, Prizepicks, they offer a ton of sports, a ton of sports outside of just MLB, NBA, NFL, League of Legends, WNBA, CSGO, KBO they added, tennis, USFL. Like Prizepicks has every sport imaginable. You can mix and match sports. You can do multi-sport entries. It's a ton of fun. Make sure to check them out. Use that code NOAH and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all that I got for tonight, guys. I wish you the best of luck on this big Tuesday slate. Hopefully we can bounce back, make a little money tonight. But yeah, guys, good luck if you're tailing, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.